welcome back to my channel. My name is Morgan, and for today's video I'm just going to be doing a first impressions of JayJen's new brand Vieve. So I got my palette on the day that it launched, like the brand launched, but everything else I wanted was sold out. I didn't really have a ton of money either, so I went back after the restock and managed to get a highlighter, a lip liner and a lipstick. So like all of this. So the packaging on it's all really cute actually. It's just really nice and kind of classic. But the only thing I've actually opened was the palette, but I haven't used it or anything yet. So this is what the palette looks like, and it's still got like the protective thing on the little badge. So that's just the palette there. I really like it, to be honest. I don't actually have a kind of nude palette, like a proper nude palette. All my palettes are quite colourful, so it's kind of hard for me to do like an everyday look other than with my Urban Decay Basics palette, because that was the first palette I ever got. So this is kind of a nice one to add to my collection. I'm not going to swatch any of the colours because I don't really think swatches are that good, to be honest. I'm wanting to do kind of a classic JayJen Vieve like smoky eye with this, so I'll see how that goes. For the Nova Glow highlighter I got the lightest shade, which was Bijoo, I think that's how you say it. So the packaging is just the same as the palette, and that's just that one there. So, and like, I just think it looks really nice. I think all the makeup looks really high end, and it was quite pricey. I think the palette was £43 and the highlighter I think was 27. I'll go find out. So the essential eyeshadow palette is £43. The Nova Glow highlighters are 27. The modern lip definer is 15 and the modern matte lipstick is 19. So it's kind of like at the same price range as like maybe Urban Decay or yeah, like Urban Decay or MAC. I'd say maybe just a little bit more expensive, but I think it's about that price range. So like you're also going to be expecting like good quality makeup. And for the lip definer, if I can get it open, it's just in the same sort of packaging, like the black and gold. And that's what this one looks like. So I got the shade Bark. So it's like a kind of brownie colour, because I'm wanting to do like a kind of JayJen look with like the dark lip liner and that. And I don't really have a lip liner that dark, to be honest. All mine are quite pink, so it was nice like to get a darker one. And then for the modern matte lipstick, that's what this looks like. I think that's really pretty. I think they'd be really nice to have like on a vanity table stacked up as like a kind of collection. I think that'd be really nice. And I got the shade Treasure, which is this kind of brownie nude shade. I think that's really pretty though. And it's got Vieve like embossed. I don't know if you can see it. Packaging on its own is really nice. I think it looks so pretty. And I think it looked really nice like in classic. Packaging on its own is really nice. I think it looks so pretty. And I think it looked really nice like in classic. Like compared to maybe some other brands and that, which go for kind of like gimmicks and that. I just think it's a really classic like look to it. And it just looked really like high end and like fashion. I'm just gonna get started on my makeup. I don't really know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna try and wing it. So for my eye base, I'm just gonna go in with my Conceal and Define concealer. I'll start with one eye and do it on camera so I can show like my proper first impression. For my crease, I'm just going to go in with this brown shade Buff there in the middle. The pans on this are really big, but they're like, it's like my whole finger for two of them. I don't know. The pan's really big. I've just dipped into it and it's like the pans are like really soft and that, so I think they're gonna blend quite well, but I'll see. So I'm just gonna oh well. So that's all with just one dip. I think that's really good. On camera it's coming out a lot more kind of orangey, like it's coming out with a bit more orange undertones than it is like in the mirror, but it's still really pretty. So I'm just gonna kind of buff this out to create a bit of a winged effect. And then just bring that towards my nose, buff it out. I think that's a really nice colour though, and it's blended out really nicely and really easily, like it's not stuck to the like the, because I don't set my eyes when I put concealer and that on them. Sometimes eyeshadow can like stick to one place, whereas this is blended out really, really nicely. To darken my crease a little bit, I'm just going to go in with this shade here, which is called Delicious. So it's just a really deep brown. And I'm just going to darken my crease a little bit. Oh, that's went on so smoothly, like on top of the other colour. And it's still blending out like just as nice as it would had I put it straight onto the eye. And it's blending out so nicely. That's another thing, there's almost no fallout in any of the pans, which is nice. Not that it's that big of a deal, but it's just nice, it keeps things like kind of tidy, and it'll help your palette probably stay tidier. I'm gonna go back in with a brush I had Buff on and just buff out the shade Delicious. I'm gonna take the shade Delicious again and just go under my eye, under my lash line. And just bring it up again. In the outer corner, I'm gonna actually just go in. No, what am I doing? I'm gonna go in with the shade Lava Rock here at the end. I'm gonna go in with this shade Lava Rock at the end to darken my outer corner. So this is just like a really deep brown. It's kind of got, it looks like it's got purple undertones. I don't know, but it's I was gonna go in with the black, but I think I'm gonna blend out eyeliner with that instead. So I'm just placing this in the outer corner. It's the only shade that's had a bit of fallout kind of in the pan and on my eyes. You can kind of see, it looks like freckles to be honest. But it is a dark shade and that's kind of to be expected. But all the colours like go on top of each other so nicely. Like they feel quite like buttery. And I just put some of that under my lash line as well. And I'm going to blend it out with the brush I had Delicious on. For my inner corner, like the inner part of my eye, I'm gonna go in with the shade Carrot. I'm gonna go in with the shade Carrot, the kind of goldy shimmer. So I'm gonna use a brush for it first, but I don't know if you're meant to do it with maybe your finger or if it's meant to be done with a brush. But I'm gonna spray my brush with my Urban Decay setting spray. Because that's what I would do with any other shimmer, so I'm obviously just going to use it the way I would normally do it. I'm just gonna so I didn't really get a ton on my brush to be honest. Oh wow. So this one's like just a really nice gold shimmer. It's quite like chunky, but it's not horrible. Like it goes on really nice. It's just like the glitter looks kind of chunky in it, but I really like it. So that's the gold there, if you can see it. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna blend it out a little bit, like with the colour, so it doesn't just look like a really harsh line. And I'm gonna put some on with my finger, I think. Yeah, I think that applies a lot better with my finger than it did with my brush. So it'll probably be the same for all of them, but it's still like really pretty. I don't know how well you can see it on the camera, but in real life it's really nice. And on the camera the eye looks a lot lighter than it is. It's all quite dark, but that's fine. That's what I wanted. But I'm gonna quickly blend the gold in with the rest of my eye, just to make it a bit more, you know, like less, I don't know. So I'm gonna quickly put on some eyeliner off camera, and then I'll come back to use the black and blend out my eyeliner, and then I'll do my other eye off camera and come back to do the highlighter and the lips. So I've just done a really quick eyeliner, and then I'm gonna go in with the black in the palette Moonlight, I think. Good night. Focus. I'm gonna go in with this black in the palette called Good Night. I only have two? I only have two blacks that I actually really like using, which one's in the Me, Myself and Mummy Mitchell palette from Beauty Bay and Mummy Mitchell, and the other one's in the Life's a Drag palette by Lunar Beauty, which is Manny MUA's brand. And I always find it quite hard to find a black that I actually like that blends out really nicely, so hopefully this one works. It doesn't really have any fallout actually, like there's a tiny little bit, but like not loads at all. So I'm going in with this teeny brush, which is from my Naked Basics palette. It came with it, but it's small enough to do this job. So I'm just gonna blend this out. I'll try and get closer. Oh, this is nice. It's kind of like it's working. I really like this black. I think it's worked out really well. It blends out really, really nicely. I'm just gonna get another brush and just smoke it out. So I'm just gonna put some of it under my eye as well, and then just I've just blended that out like that. I think that's really nice. It's definitely way darker in person than it is on camera, which isn't a bad thing, but I don't think the camera really does it justice. It's such a nice, like, all the colours are just so nice. But I'm gonna go off camera and do this eye, and then I'll be back to do like the highlighter and the lips and everything. So that's both eyes done. I really like that palette. I think that's gonna end up being like my everyday palette. It's so nice, and the colours are just like, they go on so smoothly and everything. But so I'm gonna go in with my highlighter now. So it's just very similar packaging to the Essentials palette, and this is the colour here. So this is the lightest highlighter, and there was 3 shades. This one's just quite a like whitey shimmer, like it's, I think even if you're paler than I am, it would still work quite well, but I just knew like the next one would be way too dark. So I'm just gonna apply that the way I would usually apply my highlighter. So I'm just doing it to the tip of my cheekbone and up. Oh wow. Oh, so I really like this. It gives like a kind of wet look effect, I think. Oh, that's so pretty. This actually really reminds me of the Urban Decay highlighter. I think the one that I'm thinking of is the shade Sin. It's just the way it looks on the cheek. Oh, I think that's dead nice. And it just goes on really smoothly as well. Oh. That's definitely one of the best highlighters I've ever used. I usually don't really buy like high-end highlighters anyway, because you can get nice ones from like cheaper brands like Revolution and stuff, but I definitely think I would splurge to buy that one again. I really like that. And I'm gonna go in with my lip definer. So this is the shade Bark, and this is just what it looks like. So it's just a really dark brown. I think this is just like a sharpener one, like not one of the like push up ones. I'm just gonna overlay my lips the way I usually would. I really like that. That's really nice. So that just goes on really, really smoothly. And like it didn't crumble or anything, like even when it was sharp, like it just went on really, really smoothly. I really like that. So I've tried to blend it a little bit into my lips anyway, and I'm gonna go in with my lipstick. This is magnetic, so it doesn't like click in it, like, that's cool. I like that. But this is the shade Treasure, so it's just this kind of nudie brown. So that's a really nice colour, and it goes really well with this lip liner, I think. Even though this is a matte lipstick, it goes on really like smooth and it just feels really nice. But that's all I got. I really, really liked the products. I think they were really, really nice. They're just really well made in that, and it's obvious you can tell that she's been working on it. Like Jamie Genevieve's been working on it for a long time because the products just aren't like that good. But I really hope I can get some more of like the light lip liners and the lipsticks, because that lip liner I think is the best one I've ever used, because I don't really have it. I only have a couple. I've got 2 MAC ones and like a couple of like Makeup Revolution and NYX ones, but that's the best one that I've ever used. I think it's so good, and the lipsticks are just really nice, and you can never have enough nude colours. But I really liked it. I think all the products were really, really nice. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye.